Hi everyone, this is JD, your gadget review friend. We just finished comparing the speed of these two phones, so today we're comparing their cameras. We're continuing our three-part series between Poco F3 and iPhone 13 or 13 mini, and today we're doing the part 2, the camera comparison. Looking at the papers, it looks almost the same with both phones having the same bigger sensor, with Poco F3 providing the larger pixel density of 48 megapixel. Outside this camera comparison video, iPhone 13 mini is the latest phone from Apple, boasting that awesome video recording capability and the iOS goodness, while Poco F3 is the best flagship killer yet with its cheap price tag and every awesome feature it offers you. Let the battle begin. This is flagship versus flagship killer fight. Hey, don't forget to subscribe, my friend. Let's go! Hi everyone, this is JD from Gadget Rev Now. Another entertaining fight between iPhone 13 mini or iPhone 13 versus Poco F3. Again, there's a lot of snow. Right now it's around 2 p.m. because it's a little tricky. I can't do the camera comparison video in the morning because the sun shines around 10 a.m. and it sets around 4 p.m. So I need to do it on a sweet spot, which is right now. Let's go! Hi everyone, this is JD, your gadget review friend. This is the audio comparison of iPhone 13 mini versus Poco F3. Hi everyone, this is JD, your gadget review friend. This is the audio comparison of iPhone 13 mini versus Poco F3. On our first test, the audio, it's a tie for me. iPhone 13 is cleaner with less noise, but Poco F3 is louder. I noticed a little bit of shakiness from Poco F3 on the get-go. I will let you decide on the audio. It's a tie for me. On our first test, color profile or saturation and white balance, I noticed that Poco F3 is more saturated and warmer compared to iPhone 13. iPhone 13 mini is well balanced and cooler. I also noticed that iPhone 13 has a better exposure with sharper details, as Poco F3 is a little soft. I personally like the warmer look of Poco F3 on some shots, but iPhone 13 color profile is well balanced and definitely sharper. iPhone 13 mini is the winner here. So iPhone 13 mini is the same as the iPhone 13, just smaller, while the Poco F3 is the same as the Redmi K40. It's identical. The Poco F3 retails around $300, while the iPhone is $1,000, so you can actually buy 3 Poco F3 on a single iPhone 13 mini. On our next shot, we want to check for exposure, light sensitivity, highlights, and dynamic range. iPhone 13 exposes the subject better when against the light. It also has a better dynamic range. While Poco F3 is actually brilliant in some shots, I'd say Poco F3 sometimes produces a well-lit photo, and both phones are not scared of noise. iPhone 13 is just a little bit sharper. I'm not sure, I'm still researching on this. It's either Poco F3 smoothing the image like crazy, or the 48 megapixel affects the sharpness somehow. Comparing the highlights, iPhone 13 manages the highlights better. Those little things that iPhone perfected affects the image quality. iPhone 13 mini is the winner here. Next is text sharpness and finer details, and this is pretty close. I will show you later that low light makes the Poco F3's image softer. The light affects how sharp Poco F3's image is, and lots of my shot iPhone 13 is pretty consistent with sharpness and generally has more details than Poco F3. That 12 megapixel is a sweet spot for sharpness. Some ultra-wide action, super close, but siding a little bit to iPhone 13 when photos are zoomed in. iPhone 13 mini is the winner here. The iPhone 13 or 13 mini's video recording is super good. I just noticed that when you go low light, my face gets darker a little bit. The Poco F3's camera is super good. In daylight, I noticed that when you go low light, the quality of the image depreciates a little bit. Next is greenery and sky, and here iPhone 13 is producing a warmer green compared to the punchier greens of Poco F3. Looking at the sky, it's almost the same. I think the only difference on these photos is how Poco F3 rendered the white snow. iPhone 13 is natural looking, while Poco F3 is casting a bluish or purplish tint. Personally, almost the same to me. Both produces beautiful nature colors, so it's a tie for me. Next is versatility. Both phones has regular wide and ultra wide lens, but only Poco F3 has a dedicated macro lens, which as you can see has a better close focus. Poco F3 is the winner here. So obviously there's a lot of differences on this phone. First is the price. iPhone 13 or 13 mini is more expensive than Poco F3. And also the screen size. iPhone 30 is super small, while Poco F3 is, I think, is more of like on a phablet territory. We're 2 months ahead of our upload schedule. I don't know what the timing is right now, but if it's still Christmas, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's start with the portrait on a non-human subject. Here definitely iPhone 13 cuts the subject better, while Poco F3 was in reverse, the background were sharp and the subject was blurred. This is definitely a miss. Looking at the selfie portraits, warmer on Poco F3, while well-balanced and sharper on iPhone 13. On extreme dark condition, iPhone 13 fired a screen light that provided the burst of light, so it's lighter but overexposed. Looking at the rear portrait, same story, but I think iPhone 13 pulls a mile ahead on the image quality. It is sharper across daylight, low light, and extreme dark condition. iPhone 13 mini is the winner here. And lastly, low light condition or night shot. Here Poco F3 manages the flaring better, while iPhone 13 is sharper. I noticed that Poco F3 softens on low light consistently. iPhone 13 also manages the noise better. On the next shot, same story, Poco F3 manages the flaring better, while iPhone 13 is sharper, while softer on Poco F3. iPhone 13 mini is the winner here. iPhone 13 mini versus Poco F3 video test. We're checking the video stabilization and we're walking. And now we're running. Both phones are handheld, we're walking again. And now we're running. Now we're checking the autofocus. And the light variation or exposure. iPhone 13 mini versus Poco F3 selfie video recording test in daylight. Let me know which is better. This is the greens and the sky. Which is more saturated? Look at the subject separation. And let's check the video stabilization. Now we're checking the rear camera or the vlogging test. Normally this is the better video recording capability. Again, looking at the trees and the sky. Sorry guys, this is super cold. I'm freezing. Let's also check the video stabilization. Poco F3 versus iPhone 13 selfie video recording in low light condition. Which is better? So you can see the sky. Poco F3 versus iPhone 13 in low light condition. Looking at the sky, the flaring, exposure, and extreme dark conditions. So on video test, both the main camera has a great video stabilization, autofocus, and exposure. Again, warmer on Poco F3. Feels like there's a sepia filter. Shaky video on Poco F3's selfie recording, and a little subject separation on the rear camera recording of iPhone 13. In low light condition, iPhone 13 exposes the subject better on selfie recording. Poco F3 manages the flaring better on the main sensor, but iPhone 13 is sharper, has better dynamic range and exposure. iPhone 13 mini is the winner here. So what is Gadget Rev Now's verdict? iPhone 13 or Poco F3? Two of the most popular phones this year, one is a well sought of flagship phone versus the much anticipated and praised Flagship Killer. iPhone 13 or 13 mini has a cleaner audio, better selfie video stabilization, it is sharper, it has a better dynamic range, it is more detailed, manages the highlights better, and generally better video recording. While Poco F3 is more saturated, it is warmer, it is more versatile because of the macro lens, and manages the flaring better. I will be happy owning any of these phones, but sadly we need to have a winner. On this flagship versus flagship killer test, I think the winner is iPhone 13 mini, for a few reasons. It has a well-balanced color profile, great stabilization both front and back, and generally better low light and video recording. While Poco F3 is also a winner, it has a closer focus because of the macro lens and has a cheaper price tag with decent performing set of cameras. Still, if money is not an issue, iPhone 13 or 13 mini is superior. I will make more comparison videos of these two phones, so stay tuned. And as always, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next one.